Hi there, beautiful. Namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today, I am doing another collaboration with my friend Psychic Siren Tarot, where I am taking a look at what the person on your mind's future self thinks about this connection. And Psychic Siren Tarot's part of the reading, linked below in the description box, is going over what your future self thinks about this connection. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine to create a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with Finder of Lost Things. Group number 2 in the center with Behind the Scenes. And group number 3 on the right with Befriend Your Ego. As always, the timestamps are listed below in the description box, as well as information if you're interested in a personal reading, Reiki session, tarot and oracle decks, and my social media accounts are down there as well if you'd like to connect. You'll also find down there in the description box the link to Psychic Siren Tarot's video, where she'll take a look at what your future self thinks about this connection. As always, I'm grateful that you're here, and I love you, and I'll see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, Group 1. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at how the future self of the person on your mind feels about this connection. And you selected the first group with the Finder of Lost Things card. Tapping in with this energy, the first thing that I'm getting is that the future self of this person seems a lot different than they are today, and they would accredit a lot of that to you, whether you know it or not. Not because you did something, like you changed them, you fixed them, not like this. In a way where you inspire them. They see your beauty, they honor you, they saw you do something they thought was impossible, or they learned that life is more than what they were taught because of you. This is so much deeper. This is genuine love. The future self of this person thinks that together you can find many lost things. Usually when I pull this card, the literal message doesn't come out. It's usually an analogy for something else, but they're showing me two adventurers going on an archaeological dig, or meditating and learning lost arcane secrets together, or putting together mysteries of the universe that only you two know, things like this. This person's future self feels very comfortable and accomplished with the state of your connection in the future, but they don't want to give too much of that away. The future self of this person feels about this connection that sometimes things are meant to come to a close or an end or a pause so that you can find yourselves and come back together or grow into a fuller version of yourself. The future self of this person is grateful every single day of their life that they know you. They think about you every day. And they want you to know that they will always love and cherish and adore and respect you. The future self of this person thinks that this connection is something that has transmuted a lot of really, really touchy, difficult, dense energies within both of you, and allowed both of you to swim and float, to find the surface, to grow and evolve and heal and thrive. Now, the future self of this person is aware that you do your own work and they do their own work, and they would never have it any other way. If they have grown into the person that you saw in them all along, for example, they would attribute this growth to them, but they would still also be grateful to you because you treated them like the future version of themselves that's coming through, a version of them that they were too shy to tap into, or they had imposter syndrome about tapping into, or they didn't know could exist, or they were taught that that's outside of what's possible, outside of the confines. The future self of this person is significantly different from this person today and when you met them. When it comes to this connection, they feel as though this is a sacred space for them, whether in the future it's a memory or it's a place where they come home to every day. The future self of this person feels as though there is no reason to hinder your growth around one another. There's no reason to sell yourself short or to shrink yourself or even gas yourself up too much. They feel like this is they're showing me Neverland, like Peter Pan. They're showing me this connection is their Neverland. Not that they don't grow up, not that they don't evolve and descend and awaken and enlighten, but that the future self of this person would say that this is something special that exists only between the two of you, that only the two of you know exists and only the two of you can touch. Even if other people know about this connection, even if other people hear about it or they're in connections of their own that are beautiful, this is something that is like a little world just between the two of you. This is something that regardless of what happens, what it looks like on the outside or how it feels on the inside, this is a special sacred place that exists only for the two of you. And so it's very, very special. This person, I'm hearing this person would give anything to meet you again for the first time. And there's also this, I'm hearing someone say, and I know I shouldn't be thinking like that. So they know they shouldn't be thinking like that, or that's how they feel anyway. But this person's future self sees this connection as something that not only just exists between the two of you, but it's something that is preserved. Like they're showing me again like an archaeological dig, but they're showing me that this is a relic. This is an antique. This is something special. It's something ancient and sacred that is meant to be preserved and adored and adorned and treated as the very, very special thing, irreplicable thing that it really truly is. This person's future self is aware that you might not always see eye to eye, you might not always have seen eye to eye, but that as you grow and evolve together and you stand firmly in your own positions and also fully learn to understand that of the other, you both eventually over time grow, evolve, and understand not just you, not just them, but the meaning of why you were brought together, the meaning of why you come together and have this experience or certain experiences. And this is part of what makes it so special. Their future self is alluding to, I'm hearing them say, like whispering in my ear, and you know what I'm talking about, like a special experience that the two of you had. And their future self wants to draw awareness to this and say, you know that that couldn't have happened with any two other people. You know that that couldn't have happened or wouldn't have happened if we were individually alone. You know that this is something magical and sacred that occurred because we were chosen to be together, because we were fated to meet. This person's future self is very, very deep. They're very, very tapped in with their emotions, and it feels a bit intellectual, like they're intellectually aware of how deep their emotions are. And it feels like this emotional maturity where the heart doesn't rule the mind doesn't rule the heart. They're very much in coherence, but there's this depth to both, this depth and this maturity to both. And they would like to say that they don't want to say that it's thanks to you because they're the ones that did the work, but they wouldn't have known that they could if you didn't show them how, or didn't show them the way, or didn't show them something beyond this world. Let's get into your tarot group number 1, and let's pull how this person's future self thinks about this connection. Okay, they really wanted to come through with the channel on that first card, so let's see through the tarot. How does this person's future self think about this connection? How does this person's future self think about this connection? A little bit stuck. A little bit stuck as always. A little bit going with the flow as always. That's what I'm hearing. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, they think a lot. We had this intellectual energy. Queen of Swords at the back of the deck. A ton of tarot cards came and knocked off the heart chakra crystal. Okay, they think a lot about this connection. Some of you might say they overthink this connection. Some of you, it's just they think a large quantity about this connection. The two are not the same. We have the Four of Swords. So they think this connection is something that was really healing for them. Even if it's something that's required them to heal from or heal through, it bestowed a lot of healing onto them. It's something where their future self thinks that this connection is an opportunity to work together to serve a divine purpose. The future self of this person is aware that this connection helped them find the doorway, the portal to their higher self, and that it's not only worth the risk, it's worth the effort, it's worth the commitment, it's worth the time, it's worth the energy, it's worth every single drop of every particle of the universe in their consciousness. And they want you to know that their future self knows this. So if there's any sort of question to you, I don't know, since this is a general reading, right? So if this is something from the past, if this is something you're currently working on, if this is something that you are thinking of in the future, this person wants you to know that in the future specifically, they think that this is worth the commitment. They think this is worth the time and the effort and the energy to them that day, the future version of them that we're pulling, okay? Versus whatever you may have seen or you're seeing now, or whatever fears or anxieties might come up or anything like this. They want you to remember this is a future self reading, okay? And that's how they genuinely feel. They want you to know that they will always continue to hold you in their heart, and they will always continue to listen to your voice. Some of you, if you left them a voicemail, or they have an audio clip of your voice, or they have a video of you too, even if it's just 3 seconds long where they can hear your laugh or something like this, they listen to your voice. It's very soothing and healing to them, even if you see them every single day. This person dreams about you quite a lot, and their future self thinks that this connection is an opportunity for them to continue to tap in with their heart and to expand, as well as to refine themselves spiritually and step into the amount of badass that they thought that they were before they met you. This person's future self really, really thinks that you're amazing. They really look up to you, they honor you, they adore you. And there's this energy of your future self thinking that in this connection, this version of them that's coming through in that future, whatever age or timeline this version of them is on, they want to then grow into still more of a protector of you. So this is something that they are actively working on in the future as well. So they wanted that message to come through specifically as well. There seems to be a lot where this connection has been one where they've been learning to trust the process, and they've been learning to take more long-term, rational, and compassionate steps in their life. Learning how to navigate this connection is something that's helped them grow into who they are today. It's helped them make wiser decisions, better long-term decisions. It's helped them become a bit healthier. It's helped them become a bit more compassionate and a bit more ferocious as well. They've learned more about respect. They've learned more about integrity. They've learned more about compassion. They've learned more about commitment by connecting with you. So in the future, this person sees this connection as the one that they would want to reproduce with, or start a business, or have children, or build a house, or something. Travel the world for some of you, travel the multiverse for others of you. Yeah. This person taps in with your energy consciously in the future. And their perspective of this connection is that whether it stays or whether it goes, the fact that it happened is omnipresent. It's kind of coming from this energy of like time is an illusion, it's all happening at once. And so if you are together every single day for all of the rest of your lives, it's beautiful. And if you spend only 10 minutes together and never see each other again, that 10 minutes lasts forever. They're showing me in, what is that book? The Fault in Our Stars, where they're like, there are several little infinities that occur all of the time. They're kind of alluding to an energy like that. They're saying that they think that this connection is like a little infinity and that it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort. But in the future, they want you to know that they're a little bit more open than they were when you first met them, or than they even are today. But because of this, it also draws in a little bit more of this all or nothing energy, because they are so ready, willing, able to evolve. Again, with you as motivation, with you as inspiration. But there's this question of safety, of nurturing, of wanting to make sure that it's not just about taking care of each other, because you can both take care of yourselves. And this is an energy here that they want to highlight. They want you to know that in the future, they see the two of you connecting or reconnecting. If in the future, like, say you are not with this person in the future sees you coming together, whether it's in this lifetime, in another lifetime, in spirit, in the astral, they see this. They see this connection as one that has taught them not only how to heal, but not only how to heal themselves, but also how to heal others. You know that phrase, you can't heal others until you heal yourself? It's very, very true. There's a reason for this, and they've learned now the reason. And now they have healed themselves, and they can heal others. But they also take care of themselves. They see this connection as one that is a smart investment to their growth, their creative inspiration, their spirituality, and their passion. And they also see this connection as one that is worth some sort of barrier, distance, language, effort, money, something. And there's a special message that's coming out here for you today, specifically, and it's that the future self of this person cannot wait for you to see where this is headed from where you are right now. There seems to be some sort of significant event or situation, conversation, dynamic that is yet to occur. And you are aware of the transformative properties of this connection today. And the future self of this person wants you to know that the transformational abundance that comes through your involvement in this connection, either at a distance or up close and personal, either way, is something that is still unfolding for you. And it's going to be something that to you feels beautiful. This person's future self thinks about this connection as one that they look back and they're like, yep, I did that. That was good. They're proud. They feel proud, not in a prideful ego way, but in a beautiful way. They feel proud that they did that. It's an accomplishment. They feel like this ends up in a way that they are proud to be able to tell the story of, in a way that they are happy about. And they want you to know that they learn just as much, if not more, from you than you do from them. And they also want you to know that the way that they see this connection from their perspective in the future is nothing other than, I'm hearing, show-stopping, transformational, like rocking their world. And it's something that they do keep very, very close to their heart. They feel like this connection is the finder of lost things. And they're saying there's not really a better way that they can describe it that you both would understand. So that is your message about how the future self of the person on your mind sees this connection. If you're interested in seeing how your future self views this connection, you can find that link in the description box below, which will take you over to Psychic Siren Tarot's channel. If you feel drawn towards another reading here, you're more than welcome to check that out. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful, magical realm. I'll see you next time, and namaste. Hi there, Group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at what the future self of the person on your mind thinks about this connection, and this is a collaboration reading with Psychic Siren Tarot, where she's taking a look at what your future self thinks about this connection. So, you selected the second group with the behind the scenes card. Tapping in with the energy here, I'm feeling that the future self of this person feels that this is something that is very integral to their development. And they would like to let you know that when they look back, they see a lot of similarities between the two of you that might have taken a while for them to piece together. The future self of this person wants you to know, it's interesting, this is what they think of the connection, but they want you to know, they want you to know that this person sees you very fondly. They look up to you a little bit, they see you in a very high light, and there's something here where this person is preparing something behind the scenes for you, and from the perspective of the future self of this person, they almost wish that they would have done more. They're kind of sending a bit of an energy or an intention back to see if they can spruce it up a little bit in the timeline. So maybe this person is familiar with timeline work. Maybe your connection with this person makes them familiar with timeline work, energy work, things like this. If not, this person just wishes that they had done more. But this is coming from a future self version of them that has seen them do something for you. And they're showing me offering you something, putting something together for you, doing something really nice for you, but they are nervous. They don't know if it's too much. They don't know if you are down for it, if you like it. They don't know how you will feel about it. And so because of this, there is this energy of them playing it safe. And the future self of this person wishes that they would have gone even further. They would have gone even more all out. They would have, knowing that it's okay, knowing that the obstacles are removed here, that this path is clear, that it's open. This person, whatever is going on behind the scenes in your current position in time right now, this person's future self thinks it would have been fun, or they are trying to send energy there so that you can receive even a bit more from this person than what they're currently preparing. Again, this is coming through as occurring behind the scenes. The future self of this person is saying, if I knew it would have worked, I would have done it earlier. If I knew it would have been received well, I would have done it earlier or bigger or more special or something like this. Now, the future self of this person thinks about this connection, that there is a lot here that unfolds. They're showing me a dahlia flower blossoming, which is beautiful. I don't think I've channeled clairvoyantly a dahlia flower before. Yeah, they're showing me a dahlia flower blossoming, and this indicates like transformation. It's very death and rebirth, very phoenix energy. There's kind of this Pluto energy that's coming through here. And there are aspects of this connection that are very, very beautiful, that the future self of this person thinks are gorgeous. It seems that there are parts of you and parts of this person that they have come to realize are like one and the same, or are very similar, but perhaps they're showing me, perhaps they've learned over time that what you have within, or what you've grown out of, or what you don't show overtly is what they do show overtly, and what they don't show overtly is what you do. There's kind of this yin yang energy that's coming out here. And so this person, their future self, thinks of this relationship, thinks of this connection, that this connection deserves like an attribute, some way to mark it, some way to call it special. I have some flowers sitting on my desk, and I'm hearing like give you flowers, but they want to give flowers to the connection. Like they want to pay accolade to the connection. They want to make the connection be seen. This person's future self wants what is behind the scenes to be brought to the surface. They want to take a leap of faith, and this is coming from the future self of this person. So there's this energy where They see now that playing it safe was unnecessary, or that they should have, would have, could have done more. And when it pertains to this connection, there is this shielding of the heart space. Maybe this person is not very emotionally deep with you. Maybe they are. Maybe they just have to like warm up into it. Maybe they are a little bit guarded. Maybe they're a bit defensive. Maybe they're a bit shy, or they just hold back a little bit. They they're not unintentionally not putting their best foot forward, but they are holding back a little bit. And their future self thinks about this connection. I'm hearing them say thank you, because you allow them space, a safe space to open up and to blossom into who they really are, and perhaps have not had a safe surrounding in order to express. They're showing me someone who tries to put themselves in a surrounding where they can grow beautifully. Let's use the flower example. Someone outgrew their pot, they put themselves in a new pot, and they're trying to grow. Now they have more space, now they have different nutrients, now they can grow in any direction instead of to the confines of their container. However, there's still this energy of the pot still doesn't feel quite right. Like something still feels a little bit like maybe never fully got acclimated in some way, shape, or form. And this might surprise you to find out. This might be something that is not presented externally, like lack of comfort. This person might have social anxiety, and they might be an extrovert, or they might be an introvert, but they're an introvert because they love talking to people and they're shy about it. Like there's this duality energy that's coming out here. This person's future self thinks that the way that things are from their perspective in the future is perfect. They wouldn't have changed a single thing. And if they can tell you one thing before we get into the tarot and see a little bit more about what they're thinking about the connection, they're saying, don't be afraid to step up a little bit. Don't be afraid to step it up a notch. Don't be afraid to go there. Don't be afraid to maybe approach this person. Don't be afraid to have some of those hard conversations. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable first, to open up first. Don't be afraid to kind of say hi, essentially. Like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because it will make this person feel more comfortable. Now, there's almost this sheepish energy, like bashful energy that's coming through a little bit, connecting to that message specifically. So they might not be entirely comfortable with the fact that that's where they're at, but this is what their future self wants to tell you. So let's see more in depth what they think about this connection. We'll get into the tarot. So future self of group number 2's person, what do you think about this connection? Very interesting, very liberated, very educational. There's something. Okay. There's opportunities here. They think that this is a good place to experience mutual interest. So some of you might have the same interests. You might read the same books. You might have the same hobbies. You might want to learn about the same things. You might have some of the same goals. Yeah, the future self of this person thinks that this connection is, I'm hearing a gold star, thumbs up, 10 out of 10. They think that this is an opportunity for both of you to not just grow, but also play. Like, grow into yourself, not just grow into an objectively better version of yourself, or in a more morally structured, or a more healthier, like fit-wise, like for you to grow into who you are, like to genuinely practice self-exploration, not just like learning about your hobbies, to learn the truth about yourself, to do like some, like I'm hearing unpacking that's not in like a trauma bond kind of way, to do some exploration of the quirky parts of yourself, of the fun parts of yourself, of the vulnerable parts of yourself, of the parts of yourself that, like, of all parts of yourself, really. So the future self of this person is currently still contemplating where this will go into the future. A little less where, but how to bring it there. There seem to be some logistic issues that maybe once they are solved, there's another one. Once that one's solved, there's another one. This is the kind of energy of a connection where maybe you're, this is platonic, maybe this is romantic. Again, this is any type of connection, but this is the kind of connection where you don't care what happens or how it happens. You kind of just, you're best friends. You can live on the other side of the world from each other and you're best friends. It's not going to change anything. You can be in love and it doesn't really matter what the situation is that is connecting you two. You guys have to be together. You guys are going to be together. Whatever happens logistically. It'll get figured out. What's important is that you're together. And the future self of this person does not think that this is codependent, but this is as, like, I'm hearing, like, what is that phrase, like thick as thieves or bound at the hip. This is as like 2 peas in a pod as you can get without it becoming codependent. There is a sense of individuality, but those two individuals are so very unique and well suited for each other that the future self of this person wants you not to be afraid to treat them the way that you would want to be treated, and not to overthink it in that way either, because this person is a lot more like you than you are thinking. Even if you've known them for a long time, there's this energy where this continues to unfold more and more and more, where you will continue to be surprised how many things you have in common. Now, I have the Two of Pentacles at the back of the deck here, which is interesting to me. So, okay, so we have like a little decision, like a little baby decision, followed by a really big decision. Okay, but this is like a divinely orchestrated, life-changing, it's the Lover's card, right? It's not just a decision, it's the Lover's card. So that's a big deal. So the future self of this person feels like this is something where if they're not going to dip their toe in the pool, they're going to cannonball into the pool and they are a water person now. Or they don't even dip their toe in the pool and they walk away and they experience whatever is on land. But once they decide to dive in the water, they're in the water fully. Like, they don't dip their toe, they don't try it out. This is very yes, no, hot, cold, yin, yang. You do it or you don't, okay? Which might be part of the reason for these logistic issues here. But I'm getting it also can be a bit helpful as well. We have the Hermit cutting the deck. Okay, yeah. The future self of this person thinks that you are such a gift. And there's this energy of them cherishing their alone time and yours. They cherish maybe the energies that you have cultivated, maybe in your spiritual exploration. And there's something here about nighttime as well. Maybe this person in the future, they're showing me something really sweet, like them turning the lights off for you when you fall asleep, or you falling asleep on FaceTime with them and being really comfortable, and so they hang up the call. They're showing me situations like this. They're also showing me that if you spent some time on your own, maybe you traveled the world to learn about yourself. Maybe you spent some time in isolation to meditate. Maybe you're on the spiritual journey which led you towards like separation, isolation, hermit energy. This chapter of your life has been preparing you to like be aligned in a way where you can continue to, yes, grow and evolve and expand for yourself, but in ways that you can properly express yourself in this person's language, which is the same as your language. The future self of this person thinks that you are worth the investment. You are worth the investment of the vulnerability, the conversation, the boundaries. They think that you are respectful. That wants to come out. They think that this connection is one that has healthy boundaries around it. And it also is very protected. That's coming out as well. Very protected. They see this as something that like shouldn't have happened or couldn't have happened, but inevitably, like it was inevitable in some way, shape, or form. Like it was always going to happen, even though the odds were against it. The statistics maybe of you two meeting, or of you two becoming best friends or becoming partners or something like this. This is something that allows you to release a lot of pent-up emotions together. Notice that there are no Cups cards that come out here. The future self of this person is showing me a situation where there's a full cup. Like, they have a full cup, you have a full cup, but they're showing me, okay, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the secret tunnels kind of vibe. I don't know if you are familiar with that, but there are two lovers that are living in two different cities, and it's kind of Romeo Juliet-esque. They're like rival cities, but these two fall in love. And there are these underground tunnels that they build in order to meet in secret so that they can like share their love and hang out. And so they're showing me this energy, but with the love. Like, they're saying the cups aren't not present, they're behind the scenes. It's what's occurring beneath the surface. So there are things, all of the love things, all of the emotion things, all of the intuition things, these are happening behind the scenes. This person's future self thinks that this connection is one that allows them to awaken, to enlighten, to see the truth that they've walked through, and also to honor their emotional truth, to speak their emotional truth, to trust their emotional truth, to be able to be in heart-mind coherence, rationalize their emotional truth, like it makes sense for them to feel the way they do, and do something about it as well. And to make future plans that align with their emotions. They're showing me that there's like water flowing behind all of these cards here, but you have to know that it's there in order to see it. So with this behind the scenes card, the future self of this person thinks that this connection is one that takes this person's ability to communicate. Maybe they are very social, maybe they're a speaker, maybe they are good with their words, something like this, maybe they're a salesperson. It takes their skill of communication, it takes their luck, it takes their happiness, it takes their ability to get things moving, it takes their intellect and their ability to not only rationalize, but to set things in motion, to ground things and carry them forward into the future in a sustainable way, and allows them to apply all of these gifts about themselves into their emotions. It allows them to not just have life and their skills and what they do and what they're like going through and all of these things on the surface in their life, but also to bring their emotions into that. And they would attribute this to you and your connection. A lot of you might be listening to this like, are you sure, Colleen? Because I don't experience this, I don't see this, I don't feel this. And this is why it's the behind the scenes card. It's why it's the Two of Pentacles here. Because they're showing me this is less making a decision, but it's less of a should something occur, will they, is there a decision to be made, and it's a little bit more of a how. There's one that's above, one that's below, but as above, so below. There's one that's within, there's one that's without, but as within, so without. And so this person's future self wants you to know that there's a lot more love that is going to be brought more and more to the surface over time. Like, the second that the water starts to seep through the cracks, then there will be an abundant oasis that continues to grow. But once the water comes through the crack, it will continue to grow in abundance. But it might take a little bit for the water to come through the crack. So they're showing me this as like a defense mechanism, or some sort of guarding the heart, protecting the heart space, as well as the emotions, because water is very sacral. So the future self of this person thinks that this connection is honestly blessed and protected, and they think that it makes sense for you two to be in this connection. They think this connection made sense. It makes sense from the perspective of this person in the future. It still makes sense, and it's still something that they're continuing to invest in, and it's something that they feel like they receive more from being connected with you than they feel that they give being connected with you. And they're saying somehow you feel the same way. So you both feel like you're receiving more than you're giving or investing in this connection, which is honestly just a beautiful energy. This person would describe this connection in the future as one that now is only just getting started. I'm hearing like you haven't seen the best of it yet. You haven't seen anything yet. You haven't seen nothing yet, because the behind the scenes card, there is something, again, they're saying from the future perspective, whatever this is, it's like they're planning something, they're organizing something, they're creating something, And they're wanting to play it safe because they're wanting to test the water, but they're not a test the water kind of person. They're a cannonball kind of person. So because of that, they're holding back a little bit, and I'm feeling like this weird energy in my throat chakra, so communication might be a thing right now. But the future self of this person feels very, very confident, very sure, very comfortable, very safe, very secure in this connection towards you, about this connection, all of these energies. But when they speak about the connection as it is right now, not just in general as a concept, as an energy moving towards the future, there's this energy of they don't know what to say, they don't know how to say it, they're trying to figure out how they can approach something that they feel when they have not yet opened it up. So they're going to jump in the water, but they don't know what temperature the water is, so they don't know whether they should prepare for cold, prepare for warm, prepare for comfortable. They don't know how deep it is. It's like they're preparing something, but they're holding back. And their future self wishes that they would have invested more, they would have said more, they would have just gone for it fully. Like, it seems like there's option A, B, C. A is like really playing it small. B is what they would consider like in the middle. And then C is they're saying that's probably like way too much, right? And I'm getting that they're leaning towards like A.5. Something that's like A.5. And the future self of this person is coming through like they wish that they would have like taken C and then just put all the eggs in the C basket and then even growed it to D, E, F, G. But they're still holding back, and they're looking back kind of like, it's kind of cute, but come on. So let's see what else this person's future self thinks about this connection. I'm hearing the song Lucky by Britney Spears. Okay. I'm hearing No More. I'm hearing that part where she's like, but she cries with her lonely heart thinking. It's that part, but they're saying no more crying. So if there's something that's distressing this person, if this person's sad, for some of you, if this person has like emotional problems or mental health issues or something, like if they're kind of depressed or they're kind of sad or anxious, or there's something that seems like it's going on behind the scenes here, which might be the reason for this emotional holding back. Whatever this is, them being connected with you like heals it, fixes it without you doing anything, simply the connection being around. And they're kind of feeling that. It's like they feel that spark, they see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's like getting closer and closer and closer and brighter. But they're also not wanting to get like duped. They don't want to get blinded by the sun, right? They don't want to get blinded by the light. Yeah, Knight of Wands. They see this connection as one where there's so much that is seen. They're showing me when two people make eye contact and you both know dang well what in the world is going on. You would both know what's going on. But what's said on the outside doesn't necessarily match that. They're showing me like that kind of situation. So this is something where the future self of this person sees this connection as inevitable, as it will become successful. It is worth the leap of faith. It is exactly every single thing that they want, and that's why it stresses them out. This person, they view this connection as something that dreams are made of. I'm hearing now, hey now, this is what dreams. A lot of music. So music can be significant here. This person might like music or make music or something like this. Or you might, or it might be like a special thing for you too. We have 999. So notice that all the way at the beginning of the spread here, this person is looking at the future and they're a little bit guarded about expressing what's behind the scenes, because Page of Wands and the Six of Wands, they see everything. I'm hearing all that in a bag of chips about this connection. Now the future self of this person is saying, yeah, no, it's a given. It's a given. This person knows, like this person knew immediately, oh yeah, that's my best friend. Oh yeah, that's my person for life. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. You have if it's a scale from 1 to 10, you have an infinity sign. It's infinity out of 10 forever. And this person is a little bit scared about that, but there's absolutely no doubt in their mind. But this is all occurring behind the scenes, the emotional stuff. Now we have one Cups card that came out, 9 of Cups, and that is wish fulfillment. That's everything you want and more, surrounded by your embrace. They can see your halo, literally. And the future self of this person is wanting they're saying they see this connection as all that in a bag of chips. They see this connection as fun. They see this as an opportunity for you both to play, to get to know each other, to have wonderful conversations, to make really cool things. This is something that they see this connection as better than you can even fathom right now. Having so much fun. I'm hearing so much fun in the physical and so much fun in the spiritual. So much fun in all of the realities you can possibly fathom and conjure up together. And I'm getting that this is something that you can and will do. But they want you to know, above all else, this person is a bit guarded. They're a bit guarded because they see everything with you. They see things with you that they didn't see for themselves, or they didn't know that they would see someone and feel that way towards, okay? And because of this, it makes them feel like they have to take a leap of faith, and they also might be overthinking it, over-rationalizing it. They're preparing something behind the scenes because they've already decided that they're going to take that leap of faith. They're already deciding that they're going to cannonball. And because of this, now I'm hearing the song Turn Off the Light. I think it's Nelly Furtado. The girl, you know, she acts so tough, 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 but let's turn off the light, turn off the light. Basically, this person is just trying to serenade you through my channel instead of sending these messages. So if you channel messages through songs, I wouldn't be surprised if you do. And if you don't, listen to music and ask for messages from them. Or if you're receiving a message and you feel like it's coming from someone when you're listening to a song, that is coming from this person's higher self, their future self, and their current present self. You'll be able to tell. I'm getting that. It will be unmistakable to you. You will be able to tell. This person's future self wants to tell you that you are safe to invest in this situation. Safe. Okay, they want to mention security, stability, safety, things like this. Whether this is, whatever that means to you, you are safe to invest in the situation. Like you are safe in your home, you are safe, you are protected, you are safe financially, you are safe with your time, your energy, your heart, your everything, okay? You are safe. And they also want to let you know that there is a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, and you are both having the same dreams about one another. And you will have this conversation. You will have this conversation in the future if you have not already. Their future self thinks that this connection is both doomed and blessed. The reason that it's doomed is they're sharing with me that they're saying it's doomed ironically because they're like, oh yeah, that's it. I have no choice. There's no choice. I have to. You're stuck with me now. We're doomed. Kind of like that. But it's positive. But there's like this excitement that's underneath it. There's like this like compulsion in like a good way, not like in a weird way. There's like this compulsion behind it that's like, oh yeah, we're doomed. But they're like staring you dead in the eyes. You know that like this is gonna sound so specific, but you know that like water sign eyes, like that stare that you get from like a Scorpio or a Pisces or like a Capricorn or an Aquarius. You know those eyes? They're like showing me like those eyes, like staring into your soul like this. And they're like, oh yeah, you're doomed. But they also feel like this is blessed. They feel like this is blessed. This is something where in the future, they want you to know they think this connection is worth the loss of sleep. They think this connection is worth changing their future plans. They think this connection is worth not only investing in, but it's worth every single word, every single penny, every single minute, every single moment, every single vibration, every single everything. They see this connection as one that is too easy conversationally, like you get along too well. Like they would never have thought that they can have such comfortable conversations with someone or such easy conversations with someone that someone would just get them the way that you do and vice versa. They think this connection is one that rationally makes a lot of sense and also makes their heart so happy. And they also see this connection as one that will continue to give to both of you more than you feel like you're investing, because all you have to do is be yourself. All they have to do is be themselves, and that is more than enough. And it stresses them out because they're feeling a bit insecure about themselves. And I'm getting that the future self of the person that is sending you this message today too, they still feel a little bit insecure about themselves. That's one thing. They feel like you are more secure or confident than they are, and that is what's holding them back a little bit. Not necessarily the comparison, maybe a little bit the comparison, but there's something here about your knowledge. If you're spiritual or you're psychic or you've been through a lot and they know about what you've been through, or they have some sort of idea of I don't know, maybe your family or spiritual gifts or healing abilities or something, it's a little bit daunting to them. And it has nothing to do with that and everything to do with them knowing that they are walking into like a healing energy. You know, when something comes up and you're like, oh, here's shadow work coming, and you're kind of like reluctant, not reluctant because you don't want to do it, but you're a little bit like daunted. It's daunting a little bit. It's like this. They know that this is inevitable. They want this to be inevitable, but they feel a little bit not entirely confident, just because they know that you're going to need to see like their uglies, whatever that means. They think this connection is going to change both of your lives for the better. The future self of this person thinks that this connection is one that actually spiritually awakens both of you. If one of you is more spiritual than the other, and there's not a like student-teacher dynamic here, there's an equal dynamic here. And there's also a message coming through where they see this as not only the light at the end of the tunnel, but as they see this connection clear as day. They see this connection happening clear as day, clearer than they've seen anything else in a while or ever. So this is a connection that strengthens both of your connection with self, each other, and the universe, source, God, light, however you would like to put it. So group 2, that is how the future self of this person sees this connection. If you would like to know how your future self sees this connection, you can check out the link below in the description box on Psychic Siren Tarot's channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful, magical realm. I'll see you next time, and namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at what the future self of the person on your mind thinks about this connection, and you selected the third group with the Befriend Your Ego card. Before I tap into the energy, I want to remind you that this is a collaboration video with Psychic Siren Tarot, where she's taking a look at what your future self thinks about this connection. So, tapping in with this energy, first and foremost, the future self of this person thinks that this connection is one that taught them how to be authentic. I'm hearing be authentic, be authentic, which is not really how that cheer goes. So there's something here maybe about cheerleading or rooting them on, or sports or something like this that can be significant. The future self of this person is saying thank you for the safe space. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you for showing me the difference between two, I'm hearing easily confusable but unmistakable things. So they're showing me something like the difference between love and lust, the difference between your ego and confidence, the difference between your head and your heart, things like this. Now, when it comes to this connection specifically, the future self of this person thinks, I'm hearing still thinks, okay, that you are everything they could ever want. They still think that this connection is, it's interesting, I'm hearing means to an end, but it almost has a positive connotation to it. So they might say something and not, it's like they're saying one thing, but they mean a different thing. So there might be some sort of communication barrier that this person has. They might slip up and say the wrong thing on accident all the time. There might be some sort of language barrier. There might be some sort of energy here where they accidentally say something that misplaces the way that you perceive your value to be to their perspective. For example, they might laugh at something that they found cute and be like, oh, haha, like you're stupid. And you might say something like, haha, don't call me stupid. And they might have meant cute, but they said the wrong thing. Okay, there's something like this that's coming through. It's not meant, I'm getting on any level to be like insulting, but there's a little bit of this energy here where the future self of this person wants to come through and tell you that they're sorry for miscommunication, they're sorry for misunderstandings, they're sorry for letting their ego get in the way. Now, the future self of this person thinks about this connection, that this is one where you show them the difference between a healthy manifestation of an energy and the manifestation that they were taught to have of a particular energy, primarily love and ego. This person feels as though, have you friend zoned them, or are they afraid you're going to friend zone them, or are they strictly like platonically your friend? There's an energy here where friend is really, really standing out. This person has a lot of similar morals and values to you that seem to be expressed in different ways, but like congruent ways. They see this connection as one where you will always be able to meet in the heart space regardless of what occurs, regardless of whether this is, I'm getting like transitioned from friend to lover, or transitioned from lover to like partner, like marriage, or transitions from romantic back into platonic, whatever dynamic this relationship takes or took or will take in the future. There's this energy of friends first. There's this energy of, I'm hearing Friday I'm in Love by The Cure, so there might be a little bit of energy here where this person is a bit, I'm getting, this is how they view the connection while you're walking through it, but the future version of them has more clarity on this. And just to kind of talk about that energy I'm picking up on, it's, I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's gray, Wednesday too, Thursday I don't care about you, Friday I'm in love. So there's kind of this energy where it's a little bit, it's not just hot and cold, it's red, it's orange, it's yellow, it's green, it's blue, it's indigo, it's violet, it's every color under the sun. And this is something that the future self of this person and your person today really, really admires. They really, really like this. They actually really cherish this. And where they might say, it's really cool, we don't even have to talk. You might, on the other hand, see lack of communication and see this as disrespect or lack of interest, or even something different than the intention here. So this is actually kind of interesting. This can be someone who was your friend and you feel like they're not anymore, or they weren't your friend and now they are, or there's something here where this connection takes so many different shapes. But the future self of the person on your mind thinks that this connection is one that can withstand the test of time. They think that it's one that can withstand any confinement, any title, any relationship, any type of relationship, any format, any trials and tribulations, any ego battles. The future self of this person sees this connection as one where they see this connection as perfectly placed in their life. They see this as perhaps perfectly placed in your life, but only you can say that about yourself. There's this energy here where they want to make sure, this is the future version of them coming through, they want to make sure that you know that they don't intend to speak for you. They don't want to speak for you. They don't want to say anything at all whatsoever about you, because only you can do that. Okay, so maybe this person knows, maybe you don't like gossip, or maybe this person says things like that example that came up a lot. Maybe they mean, oh, you're cute, but they like call you stupid, and you're like, bro, you can't say that. Or there's something here where there's just an energy where perhaps they are aware, maybe they've said a lot of things about you. Maybe this person is an astrologer and they started telling you way too much about yourself, and maybe it's inaccurate. Not because that zodiac sign cannot have those traits, but because oftentimes what is a projection of an individual's experience of a zodiac sign has nothing to do with a brand new person that's in front of your face, especially when they are so much more than one sign. So there's kind of this energy where the person on your mind is aware that you don't speak for them. You wouldn't want to speak for them, and they don't want to speak for you either. This is something that one of you has learned off the other, but certainly not both, okay? That's coming through for sure. So for most of you, it seems that the future self of the person on your mind sees this connection as one where you shine. This is something where you get to, or you got to pick the way that this manifests. Again, is this your friend or is this not your friend? Is this your lover or is this not your lover? Are you friends? Are you coworkers? Are you peers? How is this going to manifest? You get to decide. This person is entirely is going to be, or was entirely up to going with the flow, with whatever is manifest here. But whatever is decided, whatever is decided, this is the truth that they are willing to walk in. If you decide that this is romantic, then this person will show up and they will be your romantic partner, and they will never, they will be the happiest person in the whole wide world. If you decide that this is a friend, this person will be your best friend that you ever had ever. If you decide that this person is someone that you are unsure about, this person will treat you like they're someone that you're unsure about. This person is very okay, these are the parameters. Okay, so then we behave this way. This is what we carry forward. But remember that you're the one that chose this. Okay. So the future self of this person is coming through to say that they see this connection as one where you both get to be yourself, and they feel as though they have maybe they've maybe been too real, too upfront, too honest. They feel like they maybe said some things preemptively. This is feeling like a little bit nostalgic, this energy, but it's also feeling really passionate. Also, they feel excited that they get to talk to you. They feel like maybe they opened up to you too fast. Maybe they moved the relationship too fast. Maybe they told you some things that it was not your business to know too soon, or something like this. They feel as though they wanted to almost come through and say that they see this relationship as a safe space, or at least they did, or they want to in the future. They're always open to the ascension of this connection, to it going to the next level, even their future self. They see this connection as one that is needing to be intentionally respectful to you and to them. So let's get into your tarot, and we will ask the future self of this person to come through and say, what do you think about this connection? Group number 3's person's future self. What do you think about this connection? I'm hearing time to shine. Time to shine. Okay. Okay. They think that this connection is an opportunity for both of you to fulfill your dreams, 9 of Cups, and also be the best versions of yourself. They also see this as an opportunity for you both to explore freedom and kindly, respectfully utilize each other's strengths and perhaps resources to make everyone feel happy, safe, abundant, loved, reach everybody's goals. This isn't, if I'm eating, you're eating too kind of energy. This is a, hey, I'm going to the moon, I have an extra seat in my rocket, do you want to come with kind of energy. But there's also this energy of stress that's coming out here, because the future self of this person, they see this connection as one where there's a little bit of a hiccup. There's a little bit of a difficulty here. There seems to be some sort of barrier between you and them. And because of this, there is a question about not whether this was divinely guided, but the intention of the divine in bringing this forward. Now, if this person is not like spiritual or anything like this, they are seeing that there are some struggles that they are willing to work through and move past, but they want to know, is it what you want and what they want? Is it the same? Because if it is the same, then they see this connection as one where you can easily drop the burdens and move forward through them. But they also see this as one where if you look at the burdens and you want to move on, then you can be on the same page about that as well, but you need to be on the same page. They view this connection in the future as still an opportunity to come together. This is the door, like I will always leave the door open, I will always leave the light on kind of situation here. There is also this energy of, but something needs to change. Which there might be somebody here who is really tied to an unhealthy behavior that is bothering someone, and there might be someone else who is really squeaky clean. Like there's this energy here of this duality here. With here, 2 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Moon. So the future self of this person thinks that there will always, always, always be deeper to go, always be further to progress this. They're kind of showing me a situation where if you've ever been like a spiritual leader in a connection, specifically with 2 people, you know when they kind of fall off because their brain breaks, or when you fall off because your brain breaks a little bit, you just can't go any further like that. You kind of have to take time to maybe ground and integrate these energies, or you hit a wall, or there's someone turns to a maladaptive coping mechanism or something like this. This kind of energy, they're saying, well, the door is always open, the light is always on, and whether this is you or them that's in this like leadership role in this connection, both of you are aware of what that dynamic is, and I'm getting, there's no mistaking that. So whenever one of you would have fallen off, it's like the door is still open, but you have to be the one to walk through it. However, there's still more to go. There's still more that can be uncovered. There's still deeper this relationship can go. The future self of this person sees this connection as one that is never ending. I'm here, like it has no beginning, it has no end. It's like omnipresent, it continues to grow, and it's also something that can be really, really like really, really fruitful. They're showing me like two people sitting on a porch swing at night, looking at the moon under the stars, like enjoying themselves, listening to the sounds of the animals at night, like the owls and crickets and stuff like that, and just being at peace. Like there's this energy here of two people just coexisting in peace, but there needs to be some sort of union or work or something done in order to attain that peace. So the future self of this person sees this connection as peace. They see this as tranquil. They see this as love. They see this as very high vibrational. So they're reminding me that this is in the future. Okay, so where this is right now, the future version of them might not be exactly entirely on the same page with their self today, because there is some sort of energy where are we moving past this hiccup, or are we not moving past this hiccup? It can also be something along the lines of one person is living really far from the other, or one person is drinking too much, or one person is having just a difficult time with their spiritual journey, their healing journey. And it's not up to the other person to hold even more space for that person to heal even more. It's up to that person to choose to heal more. And then that other person can continue holding space if they so choose. There's kind of this energy of, so how far does this progress? Needing to be on the same page. So the future version of this person, they see this connection as very fulfilling, and even then they see this as one where whatever decision was made, it's clear that this trial, this tribulation, this hiccup, whatever, is or was a factor in the direction that this ends up going. But they see this connection as one where without this hiccup, a defining moment would not have happened. And I'm getting that you likely haven't reached this point yet in this connection even. So because of this, you have this clarity, they have this clarity, but they see this connection in the future as one that is continuing to grow in light, continuing to grow in love, continuing to be just woven with magic. I love that phrase, how poetic, woven with magic. And with that being said, this is also something that is worth the effort. It's something that is worth, they're showing me like a potluck. They're showing me two people having like a really deep heart-to-heart conversation, like a safe space for both people, where both people get to show up in their best selves, both people get to show up in their worst selves, both people get to show their light, both people get to show their shadow. It's not one person still doing the work and the other person has to hold space. It's not one person hits a wall and then the other person has to walk away. It's not one person's drinking too much so the other person has to deal with it. It's kind of something where their future self sees this as something where you both have to be equally light and equally shadow in order for this to work. You both, not that relationships can't sometimes be 60-40 and then 40-60 and then 50-50 and then 80-20 and then 20-80 and then 50-50 again, but that it cannot always be 70-30, 70-30, 70-30. It does not work like that. And this person is aware of this, but this is also why we have the Befriend Your Ego card. The future self of this person sees this as an opportunity for them to grow. This is something here that has connected with solar plexus energy. This person would love to connect with you more deeply in the future, if they're not already connecting with you. Some of you, there's a hiccup and it's just, what do we eat for dinner? And every day you're like, I don't know. And then that's just like a little thing. But everything else is entirely copacetic. Everything is beautiful. Everything is fun. Everything is amazing. But they're also drawing me to this energy in the beginning where, because of this, there's a difference between two separate things that were learned here from the future self of this person's perspective. This is something like they learned the difference, you learned the difference, you both learned the difference between love and lust, between rejection and healthy boundaries. There's something here where there's something that continually can unfold if both people are there, but there's certainly a leader and certainly a follower spiritually, and there's certainly a leader and certainly a follower physically. And I'm getting at these two energies. For some of you, it's the same person, and for others of you, it's swapped. Okay, where one is each. The future self of this person views this connection again as one that has so much genuine, pure, authentic, 100% love. Romantic, platonic, universal, you name it, present. Absolutely. But this is also one that, in order to continue to progress, from their perspective, requires resources. And the resources are not a problem. It is the investment. It is the, for someone here, return of investment that is the problem. One person is giving too much, the other person is receiving too much. This can also be something where one person is really, really, really sexual, and the other person is really, really, really like emotional, like lovey. And these two energies are not, whatever dynamic this is, these two energies are not unpresent in one another, but there's an energy of one person is in lust, the other person is in love. Now, those two energies might both be in both people, but the presentation of these energies, like this would be the hiccup. They would not be conducive to the progression of this. However, there is clarity that this is the case, and there is love, and there is possibility. This is coming again from the future self of this person, as you know, but they see this connection as one that can withstand the test of time. It can be successful against all odds. It can be one where you bring beautiful energies together and create something beautiful, and this person would call you their soulmate in the future. And your definition of that is your definition of that, but I'm just getting that person would use that word to describe you. And the Two of Cups to the moon, like this conjunction of energies, is really, really standing out to me. There is this Venusian energy of just the love and the peace and the value system, and just the what can be felt together and what can be built together in this connection is something that is deeper than what this person even thought or knew was possible. And it allows them to feel abundance in ways that they didn't know abundance could come in. This connection to them is beautiful. I'm hearing, to some, a sight for sore eyes, and to others, a fairy tale land. And the reason for this is they're showing me the sweater on this girl and the Two of Pentacles. This is such an interesting analogy. I've never picked up on this before. Okay, if you look at the material on her sweater, if you're watching this, it's that material where it looks really, really soft, but from a distance, you can't actually tell if it's soft or if it's scratchy. And that is, they're saying, a perfect way to describe this connection. This person seems very like very romantic, very poetic. They seem very, I'm just hearing like que sera, sera, like whatever, like that's life. Whatever will be, will be. They're very, very filled with love and also detached. And that's how they see this connection also. They see this connection as filled with love, but also if they have to go, they will go. And if they get to stay, then they will stay. But really, they don't have a chip in the game because they would just rather everybody feel loved and at peace and respected. But they would, in the future, they're seeing that there is so much depth. And it really, really seems that the future version of them sees this connection as something that still has yet to unfold to its highest potential. Still, from wherever in the future they're coming from today, they still see this as having potential to grow. They still see this as something that still has places to go, people to see, love to feel, emotions to express, desires to fulfill, money to make, things to do. Like, there's tons and tons of beautiful, beautiful things. This person has so much love for you, and it's absolutely undeniable. I'm hearing past, present, and future, and they want to make sure that you know that. They're showing me something where this person might say something that triggers you, but it wasn't because they were trying to trigger you. And they're going back to that example in the beginning where they meant to say you're cute, but they accidentally said you're stupid. But I'm getting that in manifestation, it wouldn't have actually been that they said that you're stupid. It would have been that they said something that you would have resonated with stupid because of your conditioning or something like this. Okay. And also, again, there's an energy coming through. Ace of Swords can have to do with speaking like unequivocal truth all of the time. This is someone who is 100% honest 100% of the time. You will never catch them doing anything other than that ever. And so because of that, sometimes I'm hearing like honesty is the best policy 100% of the time, but also this person has a depth to their emotions. So they're always kind, they're always gentle, they're always compassionate. It would not surprise me if this person is a humanitarian, if they're a healer, if they're a light worker. It wouldn't surprise me if this person is a volunteer, if they build houses, if they're in the Peace Corps. This person, they have so much love for you, and in the future, they are building something beautiful as well, but they want to know if they're building it with you or if they're not building it with you. In the future, they think that they know the answer to this, and they're winking. But they don't want to give away too much because they're saying that you're smart enough to know, or intuitive enough to know, or both, where this connection is headed, or where it's destined, or where it can go, all things considered. The future self of this person sees this connection as one that can, like, ride off into the sunset. And they also see this as one that can just abruptly end, and then you go your separate ways, and you maybe wonder what could have been either way. This person, again, it seems that they are so detached because maybe they have so much going on in their life. Maybe they are so spiritual. Maybe maybe this is fresh for you or something like this. Maybe they're just really, really, really healed to the point where they're, and again, it can't be any of these, okay, so healed that perhaps they don't take it personally if you stay or if you leave, because they don't take it personally. So there's this energy where this person views this connection as one that you might be trying to figure out your stance with them, and they might say something along the lines of, why do you care? How do you feel? You know, it's like when you ask someone, it's like when you're wondering if someone likes you, and you're like, well, who cares if they like you? Do you like them first? It's like one of those answers. Like, this person would encourage your own self-exploration in this way. And the future self of this person is coming through to say, they say this to you because they do this with themselves. And they're also coming through to say that they would hold your hand through absolutely anything, thick or thin, good day or bad, whether or not you've been talking at all whatsoever. Like, they would be there for you in a heartbeat. They would give you love and compassion and hold space for you and build with you in a heartbeat any day, in every way. Perhaps they see this connection as going someplace magical and going someplace beautiful. And their future self really doesn't want to give too much away about the dynamic of this connection in the future for a very special reason. They wanted to use the word special because the answer to this lies in having a foundation in friendship, whether this is platonic or romantic. Like, what is your definition of a friend and what is their definition of a friend? Like, what is friendship truly? Is that friendship foundation really there, even if this is romantic? And also, like, spirituality, like belief systems and the emotions connected to those belief systems. Like, are you really, really attached to certain belief systems? And that might be, or are they really, really attached to certain belief systems? And that can be the wall that someone keeps hitting and not able to, like, follow the spiritual lead or the healed lead or the physical lead of someone. It's like there's this connection between like, maybe someone is really spiritual and the other one is adamant that they are not spiritual, they're not going to be spiritual, and they feel an emotional connection to that, and so that might be the wall that they're hitting. Someone might be super, super spiritual, but they might actually be having, like, some false light projections or some unhealed thoughts that are going on that are actually presenting as distortions instead of spiritual truths. And so the spiritual leader in the connection might be having a difficult time disconnecting. Like, it's not their job to disconnect someone else's emotions and their spiritual beliefs. It's like, to each their own. It's coming from this detached energy. It's coming from this I don't take it personally either way kind of energy. And the future self of this person is saying that they're coming to learn that this is hard for you. But again, where they're at, don't take it personally. Where you're at, they don't take it personally. They have love for you. They have compassion for you. They have empathy for you. They understand where you're at. But they don't want to be, like, forced to be there because they're not. So it really feels like their future self is viewing this connection as one that brings both of you clarity about, I guess, your blind spots. And this person would say that that's an absolutely beautiful thing, and that they're very intrigued to explore their blind spots. And this is also why there's the Befriend Your Ego card. But also they say when someone else needs to awaken to someone's perspective, it's because that individual needs to awaken. It's because if 10 minutes of meditating a day allows you to conquer the world, maybe an hour of meditating a day makes you not feel the need to conquer the world. You don't have to do that anymore. You already have it at your fingertips. It's kind of giving that nuanced energy. And it's not to say right or wrong. It's just to say that things are a little bit different. And so the future self of this person, their perspective on this connection is beautiful, amazing, perfect. You don't change. They don't want to change. Grow individually and together. But I'm hearing the song Embraceable You, which is interesting. Yeah, this person sees you as one of a kind. They see you as someone that they just want to hug and squish. If this person lives far from you or you haven't talked in a while, or even if you saw them 5 minutes ago, they want to give you a big hug right now when you're listening to this. And so does the future version of them. They really want to just give you lots of hugs and give you lots of love. And so this again might be something where maybe this person is in love with you, but they express it through lust. Maybe you are in love with this person, but you have a hard time with lust. Maybe it's the other way around. There's kind of this energy here where, yeah, they see this connection as two peas in a pod, but they also are aware that opposites attract, and they really like that. And at the same time, they don't want to feel pressured to be where you are because they're not. And they don't want to pressure you to be where they are because you're not. And that should be normal. But if you want to grow individually, they want to hype each other up. If you want to grow together, they're all in. Absolutely, let's do it. And they also see this connection as still only getting started, even in the future, which might come as a surprise to some of you. So group number 3, that was an interesting reading. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. And if you're interested in hearing how your future self thinks about this connection, the link to that reading on Psychic Siren Tarot's channel will be below in the description box. If you are interested in checking out another one of these readings, you are more than welcome to. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.